Hi, what's your name?
Nanasewa.
Anasewa. Anasewa, I have a question for you. What do you think is the cause of failing relationships in our era?
Um, I would say lack of communication and understanding from my personal experience. Yeah.
What do you mean by lack of communication? Is it that people are not able to communicate what they want from relationships, or what exactly?
I think that they are unable to express how they feel about certain things that their partners do, basically. So it holds them back from communicating, like expressing themselves. Oh, babe, what you did the other day, I wasn't so happy about it. Can we do this and that to change it? I think that will make me feel much better. Something like that.
So on the other hand of communication is understanding, because there should be a communication before the other person can understand. Do you think people just sort of don't understand maybe backgrounds from maybe where their partners grew up from, so they're not able to properly connect and to do things that they actually want from them in a relationship, or it's just an issue of negligence?
Um, Sometimes you can say that is negligence, and sometimes you can also say that they fail to understand where their partners are coming from as well. Let's say I was raised in a house that, let's say I'm coming from a broken home. I wouldn't be able to relate properly with someone that was raised in 100% love. It will be so hard, you get it? So, like, all of these are factors, basically.
Why do you think these things are things that should be spoken about explicitly before relationships, or it's too deep?
I think it should be spoken about before you guys get intimate. Because if you ignore that from the start, as time goes on, it gets deeper and it'll be harder to express all of these things. Yeah. Because maybe you feel like, he might not be comfortable, she might not be comfortable. So from the start, let's just tackle it. Then if you're good to go, oh, okay, let's address this, let's do this, let's solve this, we can go. Basically.
Personally, I think is lack of communication and lack of respect, obviously. And one thing I know for a fact that people don't really know how to communicate. Literally, I believe in every good relationship, the key priority should be communication. You let your partner know whatever you're doing, what is going on with you. If I happen to call you in the evening and I don't reach out to you, I'll leave a text message. When you wake up and you don't reply to my text message, I feel like you didn't respect me and you didn't communicate back. But the very moment you reply to my message or you communicate back, it makes me understand that, okay, you were stuck with something or you are asleep, and it builds a relationship. But when you don't communicate, I tend to question myself, what is actually happening? Was he with another girl, or what caught him busy that he wasn't able to answer my calls? Then I start to think about
Assumption.
Exactly, yeah. So I think it's lack of communication and lack of respect. I said this yesterday on a podcast that I set boundaries for myself when it comes to relationship. I feel like when I respect myself, we have an individual life to live before I got into the relationship. So that doesn't change the fact that my personal life should change. I believe if my partner is coming to me, you need to communicate with me. Babe, I want to come to your end today. You can't just barge into my home like that. And when you don't do that, it means you've breached communication or you are actually interfering into my private life.
Are these not things that you're supposed to discuss with your partner explicitly before you start a relationship?
That's why I said the key word is communication. So I will start communicating with you from the onset. So you know how I do my things. You know how I grow up and how I like my things to be done. All right?
Talking about grow up, is it necessary to sort of speak about the background you grew up from and to know in relation to your partner's background before you sort of come together to agree on a relationship? Because it's very important that you know.
Absolutely right. Yes, we live in a society where we're born and grew up in different homes. How you were raised up is different from how I was raised up. How you prepare your banku is different from how.
Failing marriage in relationship. I think it's ego and disrespect.
Ego and disrespect.
Yes, and then trust.
And then trust.
If you don't trust your person, like me, as I was coming here, I call my boyfriend that I'm going out with my friend, and he will be like, no, you're not going anywhere, you have to stay home and that stuff. It irritates me. And then ego. If something happened in the relationship, one has to put the ego aside. Then you talk, go and beg, or say, even if you are right, you should put ego aside and go and beg your other partner. Yeah.
So you think these are things that, I mean, normally the young people are not really exposed to these aspects of relation, like trust, maybe lowering your ego, and then maybe finding the right way to also communicate what you truly want from your partner. Maybe the young people lack this knowledge you're talking about, because ego is a very big problem in relationship now.
Yes, I think so, because I have a little sister. She is 22 years. He had a misunderstanding with a boyfriend, and then instead of her to apologize, she was like, "No, me, I'm beautiful. I'll find a different guy." And then I'm not tolerating this guy anymore. And the guy left, and she went for another guy, and the same thing happening because of that ego. She's still searching. So I think it's the cause of it.
I mean, you are the senior sister, so sometimes at least she's privileged to have you. She doesn't listen to you when you speak to her about it.
She doesn't. You see, these days, those young girls, they don't even understand anything, and they know their rights. You can't tell them anything. I don't know where they are coming from now. Yes, you can't tell them anything. If you tell them something, they will be like, "When you need so." Stand there, like sit there and let me do whatever I want to do. So the ego, the disrespect, and then the trust issue.
You think some of these people may have to find out the hard way? Maybe with how, like your sister, for instance.
Some people do what?
Maybe they have to find out the hard way that maybe you would have to lower your ego to sustain a relationship.
Yes, you have to, because it helps. It makes your relationship grow and stuff.
So someone is watching you that's having issues with sustaining a relationship. What one advice will you give to the person?
What I can say is, one, you have to pray. If your partner is not for you, there is nothing that you can do to make him or her come back to you. But you have to pray, know your value, like respect your boyfriend, do everything. Even if you know he or she is the wrong one doing the stuff that's bringing the wrong relationship, you have to do something to bring it out. Try your best. If only you love the person, do everything possible to get that person back.
Well, I do think we choose quite too early. We don't take time to study our partners before we jump into the relationship. And then most people are broken from the start, so they do have lots of trust issues. And then people also do find it's relatively common for people to find more comfort in their exes. So the least thing, they jump back to their exes. But before then, our mothers had pride and then all those things. So it's quite uneasy for them to just go into another man's room because they are having issues with their husbands. It's something which they valued most, that respect. But now we barely have that. Like the first mistake you do, that person is out of the relationship. They don't want to finish or doing it.
With that one said, I was speaking to someone earlier, and the person was talking about the decline in morality in our era. And in morality, like immorality in our era. And it seems now, like you're saying, our mothers had pride. They felt like their body had value and they were protecting their woman, let me put it that way. But these days, it seems the new generation is like, I mean, everything goes. So, I mean, someone can meet someone, a lady can meet a guy, like consistently, different guys, consistently for like 5 months, and then she might end up doing it with them all without thinking about the consequences or the pride that she has as a woman. Do you think it's social media, or what do you think the influence is coming from?
Yeah, so social media counts too, because before then you would have to see a lady and then propose to her. So how many times can you just see everyone and propose to them? But social media has made it so possible to the extent that you can stay in your room and chat 5 women at the same time, and it would completely work. So that avenue that it's created for us to meet more people is what makes people feel like there are more fishes in the sea. So if you just mess up one, you are gone. If the least thing that you do, we can't accept mistakes or anything. So we are not really trying to make things work because we feel like we have other options, and it's easy to just find somebody. Yeah.
Is there hope for us as a generation?
Yes, and I feel like we now don't understand what love truly is.
What is love to you?
Finding that special somebody that, like, you know, when you look at this person, you don't see them in other people. Like, there is like just a single rice in maize. So I feel like we should really look deeper. We should really look at all the qualities that we seek to find in a partner, and then not just take somebody like, okay, you take one box, I'll try it with you and see. But then when you have a plan, this is what I want to find in my future man, you take the boxes, you just not jump into relationships, but you study your partner and then know that, okay, this person, if I should be with them, I know that for sure because of what I have planned and then have in stock, we can go like 5 years or something and we would all be okay, and then maybe from the future we can plan on something.
It seems the younger generation especially lack this knowledge. They just don't know.
They don't want to. They don't want the
They don't
work
want
that
to.
comes with it. You know, relationship.
There's work that
is
comes with
trust.
it.
Yes, it does. Like one has to lower their ego. You have to apologize, and our people, most of us don't like to apologize for even things that they did wrong. You know, your partner will be cheating, and then when you catch them, they'll rather gaslight you, making you feel like you are rather insecure. And that word that is now going about is narcissist. Hey, everything, he's a narcissist, so I'm leaving him. Meanwhile, you, that person that you are saying it, you are cheating on your partner. So if your partner should feel like, okay, you are exhibiting signs of cheating and stuff, and then you are calling him a narcissist, what you are doing it? Yes, we hold no accountability. That's what's going on now.
In the long run, what do you think this will cause? What are the implications for this declining immorality in the youth in the long run for the society?
So less affection between men and women, and I feel like it would increase this homosexuality stuff because most girls tend to feel like the men treat them very bad, so they tend to other females. And then with our generation, look at how it's rising. It's really going viral with those things. Like, and it's because people are scared to be committed, so they feel like, okay, let me just go for a female partner because I believe she would be like, she has qualities that would make her understand me better. Yeah, so it would be less marriages. People wouldn't find the need to marry again, and
I think it has already started.
yes, it's already started. More single mothers.
Yeah. Baby mamas and baby.
Uh-huh.
Okay, thank you for the conversation.
You're welcome. And please follow me on Instagram at Ego Fusion House, EGO_.
What do you do?
I'm an artist. Yes, I do host sip and paint. So here I have an open studio at Pokwase that one can actually pass through or book me for engagements, private parties, and anything concerning arts. I do portraits as well. So,
So you organize?
yes, with wine. Yes, with Karis Wine. So it's
a collaboration.
Ego Fusion House and then Karis Wine collaboration.
Oh, okay. In this modern era, like our time, I think basically it would have to do with trust issues. Yeah, I think people have lost trust in like their partners now. You know, like it's hard to like trust your partner now. Back in the days, I mean, from conversations I've had with my parents and I mean my parents' friends, you know, they'll say there was so much like transparency, you know, people believed in their partners. Still back to the keyword trust, you know, so I think it's just trust is lost in current relationship.
Okay. Do you think there are factors, there are reasons why maybe the emergence of social media and all those things, now it's become more accessible to link up with people? And
Yeah, I also think times have changed. So people also want to explore now. You know, back in the days, I think our parents were very consecutive. Like, you know, they weren't explorers.
Okay.
But
What do you mean by explorers?
you know what I mean. Oh no, you know, so people want to have fun, like sexual pleasures. Gosh, I'm on TV. I hope my parents are not watching this. No, but that's the truth.
Okay.
Basically, you agree? What do you think?
Yeah,
What
to
do
an
you
extent,
think?
yeah.
Yeah. I think people really want to explore, but I mean, it's nice when you're exploring and you're staying safe as well.
I mean, if you're taking it from a point of exploring, then biologically, I think our parents also had that kind of feelings and that urge to explore.
Some of our parents had like several kids with different women. Yeah, so I think it's something that hasn't really changed. I think it's a human trait. So it's just how you manage it and how you go about it and how you stay safe in it.
But generally, you feel like it's because of how people have become more explorative now.
Yeah. I mean, I think year in, year out, I mean, as the years go by, final people are being born, Yeah, final people are being born, like you see someone like last year and this year you're seeing someone that's finer than the person you saw last year. And
But I thought it was supposed to be about love, loyalty,
that's
commitment.
still love. I don't think like true love.
There's love.
Yeah, I think it exists to like a limit or to like a point, but there isn't like true love fully now. I don't know if I'm making sense, but that's what I think. That's my personal opinion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I think
No, people love, and also I think people don't also know how to love in this part of the world. I mean, I stand to be corrected, but I'm still entitled to my opinion. Yeah.
That's fine. So you still
People need to learn how to love
people need to learn how to love.
in this part of the world.
Oh, okay. I don't want to prolong the conversation. I would have asked you what do you think, or in your own opinion, what do you think is the right way to love?
The right way to love is, just loving effortlessly. It has to come from within. You need to, first of all, know who you are and stay true to yourself. That this is who I want to be with, and stick with the person. It's just about knowing who you are and being true to yourself and sticking with whoever you choose to be with.